start.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. On the return, it's Kenyon Barner. Philadelphia Eagles offense having a great year as they take the field. Carson Wentz was a big part of that great year. Now it's up to that man, Nick Foles. But, hey, a good chance with what they did under Carson Wentz that they might not have to play another road game until, well, maybe going to the Super Bowl in Minnesota.
How about that? He set a pretty good base, didn't he? And Nick Foles, in his first game as a starter in 2017 against the Giants, brought them from a pretty good deficit. Brought them all the way back, got the win, and people are now remembering he had a season. In 2013, 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He won't equal those kind of numbers, but he is good enough to pilot Philadelphia into the playoffs, and I think deep into the playoffs.
17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough, swing the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
Here's Foles. And this is Ertz with it, right side. A good pick up there at 20 yards. These guys hooking up right away here, Charles. 2 plays, both passes in his direction, and both catches.
And in our time together, have we not seen the tight end position continue to develop in the passing game? You know, at some point, we may not call them tight ends anymore. We may have to come up with an entirely different way of designating that position and what they do on the field. Because when I hear tight end, I think of the old school, hand in the dirt, blocking on the line of scrimmage. These guys are much more receiver than they are guys who are going to move in the running game.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. So now 1st and 15. Now Foles. Ertz over the middle. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out.
Black 22! Black 22!
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop his shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80!
Foles. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. They'll set up to throw. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. Well, speaking of incomplete passes, we had a very controversial incomplete pass in Week 15 in that Steelers-Patriots game, did we not?
In the city of Pittsburgh, it wasn't incomplete.
Right, yeah. For them, it's time. They won.
If
They
you're
won,
a
right?
Steelers fan, that was not an incomplete pass. That was a touchdown. But by letter of the law, having to catch a football as a receiver's going to the ground, he has to survive the ground, holding onto the football firmly. But letter of the law, it wasn't a catch.
Right.
The problem is, you put 100 people in a room, it looks like a catch.
Right, so then the question going forward is, does that rule need to be changed?
Well, the competition committee tried to define it clearly 2 years ago. I think they'll be back here this spring, once again, trying to clearly define what is a catch, because right now, a lot of people are confused. He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And he's brought down. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have the highlights of this first half, but he won't have touchdowns because we haven't had any to this point.
But there's still time, though, partner.
They go with the screen to Gore. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Only 3 there on the screen at second down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Now Brissett. And some room to roam now. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
Jumping all the way from the outside, maybe getting a little early start in the corner blitz.
And the only time it makes sense to get that penalty is exactly as you described. Otherwise, he should never get that penalty.
From the red zone now, Brissett. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and it's a second down.
Let's go!
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
Offside, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Let's go!
From the gun, here's Brissett. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Brissett now on second down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Frank Gore there. And that takes us from second to third down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. So they're coming up here on the 9th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and goal. Brissett now. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Dante Moncrief from 8 yards out. And the Colts add on to their lead. Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after.
Now that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
And this one through the uprights and good. A 10-play drive that time. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Watch right, watch right, watch right. Down, flag 22, flag 22.
They'll throw now on the final play. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case,
and they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Risky.
It is so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius. I do admire that he went for it.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage.